Hey Kiwi, and welcome back to a new episode of Hades 2. This is our Arcana setup for the day. We're going to be taking the aspect of Thanatos and the Aphrodite keepsake for a one fear run. The reason for it being on the lower side is, well, apparently I have a lot of Testament to earn on the axe still, but also I want to be able to focus on today's topic a little bit more clearly, and that is
Let's keep this up.
Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune, a book that we both shared that means a lot to us. I've been waiting for a while. One second, we'll let Aphrodite talk, and then I'll more on that in a second.
Though I admit to having some small weakness for the tall, dark, and brooding types, Prometheus has been getting on my nerves. He's defacing our beautiful mountain. Who is he trying to impress?
Might I suggest Moros instead then? All right. Oh, we got her. We got an epic attack, and we can verify it. No, we can't. We don't have her keepsake fully leveled up, but that's fine. Okay. So just for quick clarity on how the aspect of Thanatos works, I believe every time we get a kill, we get a stack of increased crit chance, plus 2%, and attack speed. On our Omega attack specifically. Getting Demeter here is great for our Omega cast, or for our cast, because that'll let us hopefully use it as a defensive tool. We'll let her talk to, and then hopefully I'll be able to really complete my thoughts.
Onto our world's surface, have you, Flower? If you mean to visit our mountain, merely follow the path of desolation leading straight to us.
Okay, just to confirm, the way aspect of Thanatos, whoa, hello. The way aspect of Thanatos works, your attack is faster and each strike grants mortality until you take damage. Each stack of mortality gives a 2% critical chance up to a max of 20%. So we attack really fast and we have crit on our Omega attack, and we're going to be building around our attack and our Omega attack, of course, and getting Weed Killer this early. It's only a 50% damage boost, but that's pretty huge for us, so pretty great. Pretty great start all right off the bat. Hopefully we get a good hammer for the Omega attack as well. And with that said, I'm going to try and focus commentary away from gameplay at this point and really direct it towards this book that I want to talk about. Again, Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. I had been waiting until we got a Thanatos run, honestly, because I figured it was most appropriate to talk about a book that one of its principal topics, one of its most important topics, is death and how we deal with death, both our own and those around us. And so is one, spoilers ahead potentially, but also just heavy topics ahead. There are things in this book, including things about suicidal ideations and things like that. So I want to bring that up. If that's a no-go topic for anyone listening in, definitely turn the video off. And I highly recommend this book if you want something cozy and sweet, and just a good time all around. Let's see. Your final move of the attack hits 2 times but uses more magic. I guess we'll just take the 30% faster because it scales well with what we already have on this weapon. I would have loved to see something that affects the Omega attack, which is a bit of a disappointment, but it is what it is. Anyway, so spoiler warning and trigger warning ahead, but this is a book that Kiwi and I read in man, there are so many things about death that I want to talk about. Most relevant perhaps being this book, but certainly life events of our own, having to deal with a near death event for our cat, amongst other things that certainly were major points of stress this year. But also just in media, death has been a prominent topic for several of the things I've gotten to experience recently. Particularly of note would be in anime, Taco P's Original Sin. I watched that for the first time, and my goodness, is that a heavy show to watch, to say the least. Not least of which to say, let's see, still didn't get her cast. I have 8 rerolls. I think I roll here. Takaki's Original Sin has to deal with some really heavy stuff. What else is there? Shiboyuki playing death games to put food on the table. Even the Holy Grail of Eris is another thing that I'll talk about at some point on this channel, because I relatively enjoyed that anime. I have a couple criticisms, but as a whole, provided a pretty solid mystery and a good experience through and through for me. Oops, didn't need to dash into that. But focusing on this book, I figure what I'm going to do for this episode is I'm going to mostly talk about the characters, and then I'll bring up bits and pieces of the plot or little subplot things as they come about. But I'm going to focus on the characters with this episode, and hopefully talk about more maybe in another episode, or who knows, you know? I'm going to have fun with this. I just want to have fun with this. So at the end of the day, the important thing to acknowledge is this is not going to be a formal review of any nature. It is just me expressing thoughts and feelings about a book that Kiwi and I shared, and that I think means a fair bit to us, because it came at the right time, or maybe the wrong time, I don't know. It came at a time. It definitely came at a time. But regardless, What I want to say first and foremost is our main character, Wallace Price, is a total, absolute petty bitch. That was our favorite way of describing him from the very start of our reading this book, and it was maintained for quite a while. Obviously, this book has a lot of character development and growth for our main character here, but when we are first introduced to him, he hears this heart-sobbing story of a colleague of his who's putting her daughter through work or through college using what she's earning at his law firm. For context, Wallace is a lawyer, and he just outright fires her after hearing that.
There's a particular chill in the air tonight. I almost broke a sweat, though our foes were partly to blame. I think I know what's going on, Malinois, but what is going on?
It's Demeter.
The testament of night is
Oh.
what? The fear and darkness spread, which may not seem to our immediate benefit, but the nocturnal arms grow stronger through it, and the realm.
Well then, in shadow we serve, to shadow we return. Olympus figured it was Kronos up to something. I had my doubts, but wanted to be sure.
Considering the depths of the fear we've already played through, it's kind of odd that she's only commenting on it now. Your specials may crit, that's no good. I guess we'll just take pressure points for the base crit chance on top of our already high base crit chance. Vital Signs would make us possibly pop enemies on spawn. Actually, I think I'm gonna take Vital Signs. Means we'll kill enemies really quickly on spawn with our Omega attack. Anyway, so yeah, Kiwi and I deemed Wallace the pettiest of petty bitches, and it was really funny to do so, honestly. The nature of his antics only gets worse upon his death, I would say, at least initially. Again, character growth aside, he starts off not the most redeemable character, I would argue, but a fun one, certainly a fun one. Aside from him firing someone after she gives this impassioned speech about how much her job is necessary to keep food on the table for her daughter, or keep her daughter going through college, and then firing her, he dies shortly thereafter, and that's where the story takes place most of the time, is following Wallace's death.
Here.
And his journey as a ghost to the quote-unquote afterlife sort of things. The world building in this on its own is very interesting to me because it is very much a setting of after death, you're stuck in this sort of ghost-like limbo, still in the real world, but not able to interact with anyone other than quote-unquote reapers and ferrymen. And we meet our next major character, possibly my favorite character, May, who is a reaper. And I have to say, at the end of the book, there is a very cute little these are the responsibilities and things that reapers have to do sort of passage, and it's very funny. It was actually very amusing to read, and you can tell that it's a very boilerplate fill in the blank, and the implications of the cosmic nature of all of the things that are dying and going through this process. It seems to be available for animals, possibly other planets, based on the implications of the writing. It just opens up a huge avenue of just how far does this world go. And it was really funny. It definitely got me to laugh when I read it. Actually, the sense of humor in this book as a whole certainly got me to laugh. Case in point, again, Wallace's early character development being the petty bitch that he is. When he first is told, you are a ghost, you cannot interact with the real world, you can only interact with these select few characters because they are either also ghosts or have been granted some cosmic power to be able to interact and guide the dead to the afterlife. He goes around the first night in the tea shop where our main setting is for the whole book and just starts going, "Oh, I am a ghost, I'm dead," just screaming at the top of his lungs to annoy the people who are trying to sleep, because he and only two other ghosts are in this tea shop. Everyone else needs to be able to sleep, and he's just crying out to annoy everyone. I mean, I have no core boons. Do I take Hestia here, or do I go for the Selene boon? Because we will use Selene. I feel like, Daze would keep us alive. Hestia gives good damage. I'll take her cast if it's offered, I guess. Anyway, so it was just so funny. And then, like, to top it all off, so I said May is one of the first characters I'm going to talk about after Wallace. May is sleeping, and Wallace just pops through the floor or the door of her bedroom and just goes, "May! May! Oh my god, May!" And she's like, "What? What's happening?" And he's like, "I'm a ghost!" And then he just leaves, and oh my goodness, it was so funny. Like, there is this, like, I don't know if it's I would call it spiteful humor to this book about how characters interact with each other sometimes, and it's really fun to listen to.
I understand. Though you rid us of Typhon, you are now supposed to hunt down what remains of him somewhere out of this bloody world. Oh, you can't catch a proper break, hot stuff. But I have got your back.
But we do get to see over the course of time that Wallace grows and becomes a better person over time
Infinite
too.
possibility.
Man, we are just... Okay, there's our cast with Slow Cooker. I think we'll take Slow Cooker for the base power. We don't have a lot of fire boons yet, so we'll definitely need to stack up, but I guess with Hestia, we have Hestia, Demeter, and Aphrodite. Aphrodite does not give fire. Demeter definitely doesn't give fire, so we're going to want Apollo on top of Hestia, probably.
The barely held together city is a labyrinth of streets, some barricaded still, yet others not. Each horror-filled, night after endless night.
But
So many mortals lived and died in such a place.
I really do like the character development of Wallace. It feels earned, where he learns to connect with other people, and I think a lot of that has to do with how the other supporting cast really
In the name of
bounce
Hades.
off of him so well and represent things that he has. They're all in some way a foil to him, is how I look at it, I guess. Get that on the attack, sure.
Might protect you, man. You mean the scythe? You recognize it as your brother's then, my lord? Well, I may not be death incarnate, but shall wield his blade as deftly as I am able in his honor.
Yay, death! Tell your brother he's hot. But he didn't hear it from me. It was Mel. Mel said that. She's never seen Than. Outside of the Arcana, maybe.
Don't even try and sneak by. What, you think you were gonna catch me napping here? Not gonna happen.
It might. If you keep blocking my path, you'll get another thrashing, and you'll be sound asleep again in no time. That what you want?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, got a dilemma on my hands. I'm always sleepy, yeah. But I'm always hungry too. Guess that makes this a can't-lose proposition.
Look at Polyphemus being the optimist in this situation. Very cute of him. My goodness, we do damage, though. Also take damage, but we have a lot of DPS here. If only I had more... If only I had more magic or a magic regen boon. We're definitely hurting for that, because I'm already out of magic. Anyway, so... Wallace's character development definitely feels earned, and I think the supporting cast really plays an important role in making that happen, which makes it even more interesting to just see how they all play off of each other with their silly... How to describe this? Not contrivances, but, like, personality failings. But... I think probably the best way to describe that is to talk about the other characters then. So May is a Reaper whose job is to guide the ghosts of the dead to a
Nap time. In shadow I serve.
crossing of sorts. In this, it's a tea shop run by another major character, Hugo, who I'll talk about a lot in a little bit, but basically May leads Wallace to this tea shop where he is to come to terms with his death, learn from his past, and hopefully willingly pass on under the through the Whispering Door, which is basically the portal to the afterlife. They very much emphasize that it is a beginning rather than an end, and they leave what that beginning is very nebulous, but they make it sound oh so wonderful, effectively a heaven of sorts.
Victory.
But it is interesting how they portray that coming to terms with death, and I think this is a very good metaphor for people who are still alive coming to terms with death. The people who have died certainly have to come to terms with their own death, but it's an arduous process. It takes time, and it can be really hard, and it's normal to push against it. It's very much a normal thing to not necessarily want to willingly engage with the thoughts or the experience of death. It is perfectly normal to be that way. And Wallace and company encompasses this feeling very well, because, I mean, I already demonstrated he was a bit of a spoiled prince when he got to the crossing. But
Didn't think we'd let Prometheus continue his assault like this. Some partnership we formed. All so you can recreate the path you took to Typhon, to then face the monster's remnants on the summit as before.
what I like most about May is that she's very fighty. She's small and fighty, and it makes her a very fun character. I probably take Lucid Gain as much as I want self-healing. I kind of still want self. I think I value self-healing more. We have the fire boons to activate it, so I'll take it, yeah. Hopefully we see another Apollo boon before we get to the next floor. Anyway, May is a small, fighty Asian woman, and such a fun character to just listen to her bounce off of the other characters in the book. She is absolutely the first person to go picking a fight. There's a very funny scene where a character no one in the tea shop particularly likes shows up to not necessarily cause trouble, but just by her very nature of what she is doing is prone to being very disruptive, let's say. I wouldn't say she's a bad person. In fact, I would argue she's a good person. But she definitely has a habit of doing more self-serving behaviors at the cost of the convenience of others, I suppose, or again, disruptive is a very good way to describe her. Her name's Desdemona, or Desdemona, depending on how you pronounce it. I think Kiwi and I have very different pronunciations. Neither I know is correct, because it's not a name I've encountered before, but I do like that they do show that there are two sides to most characters in this, the good and the bad, and they're both valid. They're both part of a character's experience, and that doesn't detract from who they are, I guess is how I would phrase it. They're like the good, you take the good and the bad, and you acknowledge that there are things that aren't, I wouldn't necessarily say harmful, but harmful might be the best way to explain it, but more so just a matter of, again, disruptive perhaps, or inconvenient in another way. We'll go ahead and keep stacking our attack. We need the base damage. Weed Killer has been rarefied. Excellent. And we got an Apollo mini-boss, which means we should be able to hopefully get self-healing now. Or maybe a do. Oh, actually, we didn't get his Lucid Gain. Never mind. All right, hopefully we get his Lucid Gain. Oh, hello. Forgot. This guy hurts. This guy hurts. Okay. Kiwi, bear with me 1 second. I need to focus on a fight that is a little bit scarier. These bullets bounce? No, they don't. I'm out of magic already, which is unfortunate. If I kill his friends, I get the crit chance, but I don't have any more crit on the Omega attack, so I'm just gonna have to depend on the faster attack and then focus on dodging. These bullets bounce, so I need to be mindful of that. It looks like they only bounce once, or maybe it's a certain duration of travel before... Oh, Zula, heck him up. Get him, kitty. Alright, it looks like they only bounce once, so as long as I'm expecting the bounce, I should be good. And now that we've gotten his armor, he's dead. Dead as a doorknob. Alright, Apollo, let's take your gain now. We could definitely benefit from them. Of course, we don't get it. Cast, expand, cast, inflict daze. I'm gonna roll for his magic regen, I think. Or not. Perfect image, though, is tempting here. I'll take it for the damage up, honestly.
Brilliant.
Definitely not what I wanted, but more damage is always a good option. And this build does focus around not getting hit, so... Oh, hey, we haven't had, what's her face? Okay, Cersei in a while. I get to rap.
And sprig of mint, bit of charcoal, rabbit foot, splintered wood with fire soot.
Eat a man and take his foot, put a hand inside a... I don't know.
Pinch of sugar,
gosh.
sap of oak, stand aside and let it soak.
Get Phrynos and make him croak.
She's back, piggies.
But like the good kind of croak, not the dead kind of croak. We have enough death to talk about this episode.
Sweet and pungent.
I'm so bad at improv, my gosh.
From the cauldron of the witch enchantress Cersei suggests the depth of her ability, whether as a practitioner of ancient arts or as a cook.
Oh, I hope we get to eat with her sometime. That would be cute.
I can breathe freely here.
How regrettable to know Prometheus rebels against the gods. Surely he must see that his pursuit of vengeance shall not bring him any peace. Is there no reasoning with him?
I think there is, but it's gonna take a bit to get there.
He isn't much for talk, but then lately who is? We end up clashing just beneath the summit. Apparently he always knows who's going to be the victor, even if it's me.
Oh, he's foreseen his own defeat before. Can you imagine, Poppet? To know of each and every ill awaiting you? I doubt if any punishment he has endured is worse than that.
Alright, let's see. Arcana, faster and dodge chance, or more death defiances. I don't think we need the death defiance, honestly. I think we've got enough damage. We'll take smaller and faster with dodge chance.
Oh, look at you.
If we can manage to get Hot Pot going, we'll be able to stack dodge chance.
No need to go in.
And days. So like there's a way to this is a build where we can very much get a lot of dodge chance. Hopefully the size reduction does not reduce the AoE on our attack, and it doesn't appear to, which is good. We certainly do damage. We certainly do not have a magic regen boon. I could go for max magic, but I'll stick to getting coin, so hopefully we can afford a max magic or a mana regen boon soon enough. Anyway, so where was I? So let's talk about the characters a little bit more specifically. So before I move on to May, let me just focus a little bit more on Wallace. I made a joke about his personality, but let's talk about his actual, like, his character as a whole. So Wallace is a lawyer, and in typical fashion, he is that, like, knows better than you, very commanding sort of character, a bit of a spoiled prince, if you will. Maybe not I don't think I should call him a prince. But
That boatman's good at taking messages, isn't he? Almost like taking corpses down into the underworld like he used to. Nothing to do for those these days. Except to burn.
Hestia, you pyromaniac, I love you. Glowing coal, flash fry, nothing really amazing here, but it does stack up our infusion boon, so can't complain about that. Would really like her cast.
The Fates won't mind.
Okay, smoldering lowest tier, but we'll take it. It's honestly, we proved that it does a ton of damage even at its base level. Do I take this magic, honestly? I think I don't. I just need a magic regen boon and I'll be fine. All right, Eris, what have you got?
Ah. You're so tiny right now, babe. How cute. Old Cersei must have done that to you, yeah? I flown by her little island where she's doing all her lunatic experiments.
You better be careful, Eris. I'm gonna bite your ankles off at this height.
You had so much promise as a student, Eris. Even now, you easily identify the work of an experienced enchantress, but only to spurn our craft.
Your craft turns you into a walking joke. I'm just pointing it out. Well, whatever happens next, thanks for the laughs.
All right, have a good axe to your face then. Enjoy the laughs. Oh, that's so lame. Also, I forgot to use my cast there, so she got away without a lot of damage. She blew herself up. Unfortunate. Oh, wow, that goes for a while. This is fine. Anyway, so Wallace, in typical lawyer fashion, is a bit of a hard ass, I would say. Not necessarily the most personable, definitely has earned the ire of his colleagues, and when he observes his funeral post-mortem, he gets the sense that no one particularly cared for his company, including his ex-wife. Basically, his colleagues and his ex-wife are just kind of criticizing him. It almost feels bad to be like, he is watching people lambast him post-mortem. And unfortunate for him, funny for the reader, I'm sure. Oh gosh, just barely dodged that. And we get the sense that Wallace is very alone because he has been so profession focused that he lost sight of the people around him and really had a detrimental effect to the people around him that he should have otherwise cared for, and that he likely did, he just didn't show it well or lost sight of it in pursuit of advancing his profession.
Lord Hermes.
Surprise, surprise.
And let's see, Prominence, Flare, Light Smite, reroll. Blinding Rush, okay. Well, yeah, we'll take Blinding Rush. That will, okay, good. We'll have Origination going as long as I sprint into enemies now. That's great. And more levels on Slow Cooker because that was a fire boon apparently. So Wallace, we get, there's a very big sense of he is alone. And I wanted to say that before I go into May, because May's story is also kind of a story of being alone. And this is why my thesis statement, if you will, Kiwi, about how all of the characters in the tea house act as some form of foil or representation of a part of Wallace, and is why it's so important. They're all so integral to his growth as a character. I think May represents this very well in the feelings of being alone, but then finding others to connect with. Let's see, what keepsake do I want to take here, honestly? I guess let's work on leveling up Figleaf, or Embryo would be kind of fun. Force a path. I'm gonna force a path of stars. Let's take Selene here. All right, max HP, mystery boon. I'll take both of these, honestly. We need survivability still. We're fairly tanky, all things considered, and we're only going to get tankier as we're spreading weak, and once we get weak, rather, and once we... Oh, hold on. I have a hair on my tongue. There we go. Okay. Where was I? So May... Oh, good. Oh, ooh. Okay, we got to take the hammer. We need the hammer. We want a Omega attack hammer. Hopefully we get it this time. Kinetic Cyclone would be amazing. We'll see what else we can get. Or what else we do get, because we never... Our hammer luck can be very hit or miss, and definitely a lot of miss, unfortunately. Anyway, so May's backstory is effectively she could see ghosts since she was a kid. Only your Mega attack faster and move 50% faster while it's active. Ooh, L Splitter would be really good with all our attack speed buffs. This will give us damage reduction on the attack, actually. And it would want Furious Whirlwind. I definitely want Furious Whirlwind, but we'll take the Prophecy and get the damage reduction. We're going to be very tanky with this build then. Works for me. Turn my brain off, kill everything around me. You know, when you say that out loud, out of context, that could be a very concerning statement. Anywho, back to death. So, May's backstory is effectively, she grew up in a traditional Asian immigrant family where the impetus was to be normal, to fit in, to be that representation of the proper American and not stand out anything beyond just fulfilling your role in society, I suppose.
Who's inside the pool yet? Or I have no choice but to go in and drag you out.
Oh, hey, a fish.
Go on, Tula.
All right, I'll let Dio talk and then we'll continue the thought.
Hey, you look, did you shrink down or something? Or did I grow bigger all of a sudden? Or, my head.
I think he's a little drunk.
Oh, right. A reminder about my temporarily reduced stature. It's due to a bit of magic from my companion, the Enchantress Circe. So the effect is rather noticeable then?
You don't hear your own voicemail, you sound high-pitched.
I mean, yeah. Circe, huh? I know that name. Sounds like she knows a trick or two. Maybe she'll get an invite to the next one of these.
I hope more characters show up here. That would be really fun if we had like random characters showing up to Dio's drink party. Let's see. Omega moves inflict hangover the first time they strike foes. I wish it did more than just the first time. I granted it is a very solid bit of damage, but it's not that much against bosses. This is good for trash mobs, I suppose. Every 8 seconds in each encounter, Festive Fog appears, making you 50% stronger while inside of it. Or after each encounter, restore 50% of the HP damage you took. We would be unkillable with that oh, we didn't take self-healing, but if we did take self-healing, my gosh. Like, we will be unkillable with that, and I think it's overkill. I'm gonna take Happy Haves for the damage, because that is actually overkill. And a Hestia Boon, sure, why not? Oh, I missed the gold pot, shoot.
What were we on about before? Remind me, yeah?
Okay, so May's mom, very focused on things being normal, not standing out, fitting in, fitting the role that she wants society to perceive her having. And unfortunately, May is anything but that, because May can see ghosts, and she does as a kid. If you were a kid and you saw ghosts, you wouldn't know better than to not, like, pretend and deny that, oh my goodness, that dragon was shimmying like something else. And it's an interesting thing, because this story certainly felt a little personal to me, I guess, just the idea of having to deny a portion of yourself to maintain face, look normal. And I suppose, like, this is something that I'm slowly coming to terms with and learning to manage better, but I mean, I don't think it goes without saying, if you've watched the Paparazzi playthrough, you know I have ADHD, and as a kid I was very hyperactive, and it's something that I look back with certainly a fair bit of disdain, which I don't know if it's entirely fair to me. Having excitement over simple things is probably a good thing in the grand scheme of stuff, but I can't help but say maybe the way I displayed it was, again, the word inconvenient comes to mind, infuriating, frustrating, however you want to phrase it. I have, oh hey Athena, I didn't expect to see you with all these Death Defiances in my pocket. Oh hi, oh my goodness, everyone's showing up, hi everyone!
Now you are to confront these traces of our great foes, both at the summit and in Tartarus, recreating the path that got you there, as though the possibilities need to align?
That's how our grandfather explains it, more or less. Almost like we're circumventing outcomes in which we might otherwise have failed for one reason or another.
A minor observation, but it looks like the Festive Fog affects Athena. She's getting dizzied here. Interesting.
There ought to be very few such outcomes then, for we do not fail, merely take the necessary time to succeed.
Yeah, that's how it works. All right, let's see. Mental block. Your cast also deal a burst of damage. These are all fire boons. Excellent. More damage for us. I'm never going to use my special, so we'll take cast, also deal a burst of damage in an area and momentarily make you deflect. Sounds good to me.
Then very well.
Prophecy fulfilled. We're checking off a whole bunch of things off the prophecy. Do I need anything more from Demeter? We don't get her cast. I don't want her gain. I probably just re-roll this room.
The enemy awaits.
Okay, more HP. Sure, why not? We'll be as tanky as can be. Typhon won't stand a chance against us, probably. I probably shouldn't fully turn my brain off against him, but we can at least take a little brain break. Anyway, so I guess I was reflecting on personal experience. I guess the point I'm trying to make is having to, for lack of a better word, mask, to hide part of myself to blend in with society and be a little bit more socially acceptable, perhaps, is certainly something that I can understand. And I think Kiwi might honestly reflect on that even stronger than I do, perhaps. But let's see, Glamour Gain. I mean, Glamour Gain isn't bad here because I'm going to be close up against enemies and it'll apply weak, which means we'll be even tankier. We'll take it. We'll take it. It's not going to give us a lot of magic very fast, though, so it's not an amazing boon for this build, but we'll take it. Anyway, so it's just one of those shared experiences of, oh gosh, what's the, I feel like I'm almost pulling a Frozen reference, I feel like that's the wrong one, but basically, conceal, don't feel kind of vibe. Don't express your emotions, just act normal, and denying yourself is exhausting, to say the least. It is honestly just kind of exhausting. And it hurts, and it doesn't feel good, but you kind of have to do it growing up, because to reveal those parts of yourself that are maybe a little less. I should have just taken the free Apollo room. Shoot. Still can't afford the HP. Oh well. Hindsight. Prominence, Flare, Light Smite. I guess we'll take Light Smite. Or Supernova. Supernova for Flame Ring isn't bad. I guess I'll take that. It's... oh. I'll stick with the fire theme since it gives us more damage overall. Oh, golly, hi. I have animal crackers for you, golly. Join the team.
If this treat is to your liking, then it means we share a bond. Of course we do. Golly, the honor is mine.
Oh, golly geez, welcome.
Protect each other from now on.
Oh, look at that little portrait. It's very cute.
See you in the crossroads.
Familiar gained, golly. Anyway, all right, well, I'll let Prometheus talk and then I'll continue my thought. I love that I've barely gotten through 2 characters.
Coerced all mortal kind into worshipping you, and for what? You've nothing to gain by slaughtering them at your whim. Leave them be.
I'll be sure to put in the request with my Lord Uncle Zeus. If you could go ahead and let me past so I can pay him a visit.
Very clever, Mel.
Your Lord Uncle had me bound to a mountain for eons, so that Itos here could feast upon my flesh for all that time. Itos came round eventually, but Zeus, he never shall.
Yeah, Zeus definitely seems a bit steadfast in his opinions and actions, I would argue. That was one of those moments where I'm like, I could take the hit, or I could deal the damage, and I chose to take the hit. Not sure if that was appropriate. Took the hit there, that was unnecessary. But you know me, I'm so very prone to taking hits there. Alright.
Leave this place.
Oh, we're already phased. Well done. To Jeff, I guess. So, oh, wait, 1. Wait, 2, 1. I forgot the 3rd stage. Oh, no. Okay, I'm gonna have to focus on counting for this boss fight, or I'm gonna throw. But look at how much damage we didn't take. That would normally do 150. I don't actually know how much damage we took, but we probably took more than I'm realizing. Dodge chance, keep me alive, please. Alright, Glamour Gain is really a terrible magic regain for this build. It's too slow, and we burn through magic so fast, but at least it keeps enemies with their damage reduced. I'll save my magic for his next phase, honestly, so we can burst him faster. Okay. 2. 1. 2. 1. Are we doing this again? We are. 2. 1. 2. 1. 2. Alright. Very funny, Prometheus. Very cute. I keep missing the chance. I keep not dropping my cast by accident. We need origination and... oh gosh. Alright. Not the cleanest Prometheus, but no Death Defiance is consumed.
What I've foreseen, you'd not believe it anyhow.
Everyone's friends.
I've suffered worse.
Anyway, okay. So, wow, we are making very good time.
Go lick your wounds.
We're making very good time. Weed Killer got upgraded again. Okay, that's actually really good for us. That's so good for us, actually. Where is it? I want to see how much it does now. Is this it? 80% increased damage on the Omega attack, which is the core of our build if we could generate magic. I definitely should take some max magic if I can.
Gently now.
Alright, I think... I still don't feel the safest here, and I'm very prone to throwing with the axe, so I will probably still take Knucklebones here just for peace of mind, if nothing else. Yeah, let's do it. And then our shop. Boon of Hermes, too expensive. Magic. I'm thinking about it. Nah. And there you are, Sandpappy. Okay. So, at least let me finish the May rant, because I feel like it looks like we're going to be talking about this book for a while, Kiwi. So, bear with me. It should come as no surprise that I'm not necessarily the best at maintaining my thoughts, and my stream of consciousness as a whole is just very rambly and not always consistently directed, I suppose is how I would say.
Here he comes.
Bail out here, 1 second. Don't want to get hit by that. So May, in all of her May is such a fun character. I mentioned she's very fighty. I think it's in part just kind of because she had to bottle up her feelings. Now she is very good at expressing them, perhaps. But I do think it lends her a very good demonstration of consideration and caring for those who try to self-isolate given the ongoings of their past life. And
It's that broodling.
May very much has this almost motherly quality to her, I would argue. I would describe it as, perhaps. But she offers Wallace a lot of time and consideration, and even though she is absolutely getting fed up with him as he goes through his less savory character interactions, let's say, she never outright criticizes him unless it is a thing that she wants him to question for his own personal growth, which I think is really interesting, because there's another character who we'll get to who is amongst my favorites as well, who is much more critical, but never with anger. Well, maybe not without, I would say not without anger or judgment, more so with just a understanding of what these characters need to hear in the right moment. And it's so fascinating to see that. I think we're already running into magic issues. I probably don't take Snow Queen here, but it would make us even tankier, which is funny. I'll take Arctic Gale. I'll just take Arctic Gale. Let's see. But the reason why I want to talk about May a little bit in relation to Wallace is very much alone too in this book, at least at the start. He has very clearly been isolated from his lovers, his ex-wife, mind you, his co-workers. He has been so focused on his profession and his personal advancement that he's unfortunately put his bonds to other characters to the wayside, and it comes off very clearly that May serves as a bit of a foil in that regard, because where Wallace has pushed people away, May has learned to accept herself, accept the parts of her that she doesn't want to have, that she was taught to not have outwardly facing, and embrace them and encourage them even. And I think May's character arc, as short as it is, because we only see it in flashbacks, it's not her story, it's Wallace's story after all, is very meaningful insofar as part of his character growth, coming to terms with that there are these unsavory parts of ourselves that we want to ignore, we want to hide, but that does nothing but hurt us in the long run. This eye is going to get melted, but also I'm going to get melted trying to touch it. Oh gosh. We do so much damage, but we also take so much damage having to be close range. I'm a little worried about how Typhon is going to go with that in mind. I probably keep my distance here. I have a lot of AoE, and I can use it. Also, apparently the pathing on this eye is a little bit nonsense, so there we go. Played that safe, dash through its ring. Give me 1 second to just finish this guy off. This guy, spelled G-I-Y-E. I can spell I, thank goodness. There we go, monster thwarted. We are making extremely good time for our average episode length, I will say.
Hear me.
Happy Haze. I don't even remember what Happy Haze is. Was that the Dionysus? It was the Dionysus build, okay. Hearty Appetite. You deal more damage with your weapon the more HP you have. Okay. So we would do 20% more damage that way. Or I just always have 20% more damage, because I doubt I'm gonna... Actually, there's a decent chance. I would need 2 Centaur Hearts to pop into a 30% damage range. But this is max... Okay, it's max life, it's not current HP. Honestly, I see a world where we get this to 30%, and that will beat Sweet Surrender, so we'll take it. Because we're about to get a Centaur Heart. We hopefully get one from the end shop as well, and that will do it. That's all we need. Centaur Heart, please. We didn't get it, of course. Oh, well, such is life.
You have everything you ordered from my special shrine with faster shipping free of charge. Now comes the hard part. Think you're ready for it, Em?
I don't think there are any ways we get...
Ready were it not for you. Thank you for meeting with me here. Does Olympus know you're doing this?
I guess it didn't really matter. Either way, we were getting 20% damage up, and there was just a chance we could get 30 instead, so it was worth it.
They know I'm out delivering supplies. We're all on the same side anyway, right? No need to bore them with the details when they've got their hands completely full. I'm off.
Alright. I can only afford one boon. I can't even afford the max HP unless this bumps us over. Is that another gold pot? It is not. Alright, let's see. I have to do math. I cannot afford this and a boon at the same time, and I think the survivability is more valuable here. Travel deal. Oh, travel deal could save us, actually, because now it costs 15% less. So, apparently that doesn't apply. Why did we just get HP? Oh, okay, the shop came through. Okay, so I don't need that anymore. So, I guess it doesn't really matter. Do I take a guaranteed Hestia, or do I go for a roll on another god?
Well.
I think Aphrodite has something we want, right? Nervous Wreck. Whenever you inflict weak, you also inflict randomly 3 other curses. Or Dodge Chance. Dodge Chance is funnier, but I don't think we've had her legendary, and there may be a prophecy for that. Won't ever have to worry about origination going, that's for sure. Let's see. How many air boons do we have? That would give us an 8% dodge chance. We haven't gotten Hermes dodge boon. I think let's take Nervous Wreck. It's funnier. And then I can't afford the armor by 6 coin. Darn it, I was hopeful. Alright, let's send it to Typhon and hopefully close up our thoughts about May and Wallace. And then next episode, we'll talk about Nelson, my other favorite character, and his grandson, Hugo. Because apparently I'm going to be talking about this book for a while, it seems. Oh well, this is the nature of the playthrough. We're just going to have to accept that Jeff cannot focus well. Alright, do your chin slam. I'm ready for it. Oh, I wasn't ready. Oh my goodness, goodbye phase 1. We definitely have something in the way of damage, I suppose. Works for me. Works for me objectively. Try and stay in Festive Fog as long as I can. Bail out for the chin slam. Bump this. I think he alternates attacks, so he never does 1 chin slam or 2 chin slams in a row, which lets me dodge a little bit more carefully because I know the chin is going to come out. The terrifying chin. There we go. Man, we DPS hard. We've just stacked so much Omega attack damage and crit chance on top of that. Like, watch his HP disappear here, I think. I'm not actually seeing... They don't show the damage numbers stacking up, but I think that's... Is that next phase? No, it's not. Okay, fair enough. What are you doing? Those little whirlwinds don't come out where I expect them to. I feel like they should aim for where I'm at, but I guess when I'm right up against this chin, it's kind of unclear. Whatever. This should be... Is that it? Okay, we've got one more phase to go. Let me finish my thoughts if I can. So... Oh gosh, that... Well, 45 damage, sheesh. So much for being tanky, I suppose. Well, I guess we didn't have weak applied there, so that's fair. Got it at the last second, nice. Charge up the Omega attack. Dodge the chin slam, or don't, that's fine too, I guess. That move is so scary to me, even though I know how to dodge it now. His chin pushes us away, so I can't even, like, just tank it out. Oh, there are so many things happening. Alright, he's gonna use his chin slam, so let me bail out through that, and now use the Omega attack. Okay, I've got the pattern down. Now that I'm learning how his patterns work, I will hopefully dodge them a bit more reliably. Got perfect image going, get the Omega attack going while I can. Oh gosh, there are a lot of things that I need to dash. His patterns are scary. Chin, chin, chin. All right, can I beat him without losing a Death Defiance? I feel like I can, possibly. Oh gosh, maybe not. All right, bait out the chin. Nope, we're doing the tongue. And a 2. All right, he's gonna do his chin now. No, he's gonna die. There we go. Sorry, I had to focus on Typhon there. He's a little scary, but we didn't lose a Death Defiance, which felt pretty good. We had a very strong build. I'm coming around on the axe. I just have to play around the Omega attack as soon as I can. That's really where all our damage comes from. It'll be a lot harder. It'll definitely be a lot harder once we have higher HP enemies from higher fear runs, or more enemies and can't manage our magic better. A glamour game is definitely not the way to go on this. It's just, it generates too slow. 6 magic every 1 second is very little. We need to wait 5 seconds for each Omega attack for context, I believe, because it costs 30. So 1 Omega attack every 5 seconds just isn't going to work for us in the long run. But good to know for next time. Poseidon would be better. Apollo would have worked fine. Hestia probably wouldn't have been that great, although I guess it's going to generate magic every time you land a hit from the Omega attack, so maybe it would have been fine. I don't know. Anyway, we certainly had a strong build nonetheless. Let's see. What do we honor? What do we honor indeed? Well, it was our first run with Thanatos, so we definitely want to take that. Aspect of Thanatos, I don't think we need to show Snuff's Candle. We got that Weed Killer, Self-Healing, Nervous Wreck, Slow Cooker, Party Appetite was pretty funny, Happy Haze, and Flutter Strike. That's about it. Looks good to me. I don't have to think. I'm not going to think too hard about it. Anyway, I guess closing thoughts. I think it's very interesting to take it from the perspective that May acts as maybe not a foil perhaps, but a parallel to Wallace's being alone. But yeah, maybe truly a foil because she has learned how to... She found warmth and family, and it represents what Wallace will find through his journey in this story as well. Warmth, family, understanding, and self-love. And then from that self-love, extending that love to others after getting a better understanding of what he was missing during his real life. And it's a little sad to just look back at your life and say, wow, I did all of this and for what? I pushed everyone away, gained all of this power or this knowledge or this money, but at what cost? Did I really enjoy life? Did I really... I mean, that's the question. Did I enjoy life? Or did I pursue a goal that at the end of the day had only benefit to myself, but maybe looking back on it more objectively, did more harm than good? And that's what I really love about this book, is there's a lot of room for self-reflection and understanding, and it never necessarily puts hate or loathing into that picture. I mean, obviously characters deal with self-loathing because of the nature of those feelings, but it wants you to take it from a perspective of self-love. We make mistakes, we hurt others, it's not a good thing, but it's not something we should hate ourselves or others for. It's something that we look to ourselves and others and try to find this even minor degree of understanding, come to terms with it, and then grow from it, learn from it, and be better. Even if it's just a little bit better, just be better. And I took that message to heart because it's something that I am still dealing with and still have to deal with on a regular basis. There are parts of myself that I look back on and say, man, I wish this was different. I wish I had done this differently. But then I examine, why did I do it? Why did I feel I need to do it? And then maybe I can take those feelings, that understanding, and apply it to my life going forward and say, yeah, those feelings are valid, but maybe they can be directed or handled in a better way. And there we go, Jeff therapy session after killing the Titan of all monsters, or the father of all monsters. Let's call it an episode, Kiwi. I am going to likely continue to ramble about this book a fair bit more, but let's not belabor it on this episode.
Required to subdue the hulking, furious progenitor of all the world's monstrosities. Courage, strength, agility, a lifelong training regimen from a great witch. Perhaps even a stroke of fate. This night, at least, the princess has it all.
Return to Shadow now?
If you will humor me one last thought, though, my favorite character moment from May, aside from the interaction she had with Wallace that I talked about before, would certainly be...
Adequate.
I was leading to it before, Desdemona, this frustrating character to a degree.
That's one fewer possibility that things will run afoul for us again.
May is just standing in the kitchen holding knives and being like, let me at her, like obviously joking, but it's just, she's a funny fighty character, and I love that kind of like humorous fighty character.
Good evening, everyone. Be well, all right?
Someone who is kind and offers kindness to others, or understanding to others, but sometimes the way she offers that understanding is through humor and being a little aggressive, let's say. Oh, hey, you guys are interacting.
And so I say,
Begone, accursed witch. I have occupied this grove for eons, long before your pitiable tent came to rest upon it.
Oh, hey, Mel.
She definitely said that because we were here. I'm glad that our little tent gremlin is finally getting to meet her man crush, perhaps, or her god crush. I don't think it's going to be actually a crush. I would not be surprised if Dora ends up being some sort of ace character in this writing, just like how, what's her name? Oh, gosh. Oh, no. How can I forget favorite character from Hades 1? Oh my gosh, Dusa. Oh my goodness. Oh, you know what? Another four-letter D name who start with a D. Funny that.
I see the two of you have met. Lord Moros, Dora speaks the truth as always. She's been here longer than I have, if you can believe it.
He also called us an accursed witch, which was very, very cool.
I can indeed, for I know an old soul when I see one. It's a pleasure to meet you, Dora. Do let me know if I can be of service in some way.
Count on it, Horns. Now then.
I bid your leave. Farewell.
Gosh, I love her gremlin energy. She's so fun. All right.
Interesting.
Godsend favor. Okay, we need to get all the Godsend boons for Seleni's hexes. You know, I just realized we never got a Path of Stars that entire run just by taking Seleni's keepsake. We were offered it, but I just turned it away for a better boon. Or not even for a better boon, just for a boon. Probably doesn't feel great. Oh well, should have taken the fig leaf and leveled it up after all. Or maybe even the embryo. Hindsight of 2020. But yeah. Alright, so I have somehow managed to... Oh, hey Medea. Didn't expect to see you down here.
So many more shades of the dead now linger here. And the earthy aroma, quite unlike before. These crossroads changed since last I visited.
Working hard.
Back to the abode, Lady Medea. What brings you here? And will you be staying with us for a little while?
No, I am Great Hecate's eyes upon the surface. But the night is young, and I've business with the broker there. A surplus of bones to exchange. See you above and below, sorceress.
Medea, where did you get all those bones?
See you. Together we shine.
By your will, sorceress.
Shine on, Medea. She actually is kind of glowing there. We got shadow. But we need one more shadow. Oh, what is this? Bravery of familiar spirits. I've never gotten this before. Grow your bond with familial animals, familiars to make them stronger with each treat. Grants 3 cookies. Familiars, much like any of us, possess latent strength that they may discover in due time. So we can level up our familiars then. Okay, I have seen them get color changes there. I think I saw Phrenos being red in the trailer that's upcoming for the April update, but now I understand that it's an upgrade. It's an actual upgrade thing. Temporal fluctuation. Okay, I think for now we're gonna go buy Fate Fabrics and get Shadow Extraction going. Although I can buy this without that, so let's go ahead and get this.
As my familiars are a source of strength, so may we all grow strong. So mote it be.
So mote it be. Right, we need 3 Fate Fabric to make a Shadow. Shadow the Hedgehog, morally ambivalent hedgehog character. Go!
Become what I seek.
All right, Hecate.
Fire thief Prometheus insists on barring your path toward the mountain summit still. What nonsense has he filled your head with recently?
He seems to bear a deep sense of responsibility and guilt for mortal kind. I'm concerned he aims to spread dissension in our ranks. Some shades who serve our cause must harbor sympathies.
It sounds to me as though you are beginning to harbor such sympathies yourself. Do not be deceived by his lofty claims. He sided with our enemy and made that clear.
I don't know, Hecate. The fact that he can see the future makes me think there's more to this at play than you are willing to acknowledge.
Yes, understood.
Mel may understand, but I think she's going to disprove that claim soon enough. We'll keep buying moon dust here. We're going to need a bunch of it anyway. And then I think that's it for now. What do we got here? This is...
Just checking up on you.
Buy some bath salts. Oh, we could take another bath with Dora. Nah, we'll wait. We'll wait. What have you got to say today, Nem?
Even Mother Nyx's weapons favor you. Always thought the Nocturnal Arms would wake for me first. Guess the Fates had other ideas.
Nem is definitely feeling a little scorn from her family, I guess, which is unfortunate.
I think the Fates had you covered. You're the bearer of Stygius, vanquisher of heroes, gods, and titans.
Also, Zagreus' favorite slappy stick.
Seems it was due for a long break.
I wonder if she could channel other aspects, honestly. I would love to see her using aspect of... You know what, I was going to say aspect of Nemesis, but hey, Nem, have you ever tried using the aspect of Nemesis on the Stygian sword? It's really strong. It's probably the best weapon it can have. Honestly, though, if she was wielding Excalibur, it would be pretty funny to watch. Just already big energy, gonna beat the ever-loving stuffing out of you, wielding the biggest sword in the game, you know?
Showed that monster. We've not too many shades all the way out on the Olympus front. Only a few brave souls. They're saying that you met Lady Athena face to face. How's she holding up?
She holds a spear and a shield up.
Considering she's holding back great numbers of the Titans' forces single-handedly, she seems remarkably composed.
Oh, that's not what he meant.
I'd ask you thank her for the times she may have saved my skin, but discretion's for the best.
You sure I shouldn't say anything?
I feel like at some point we're probably going to say something. It's like Odysseus is here. I expect at some point they are going to have more interactions. It definitely feels like that. I still need wheat, and I don't even know what I need wheat for, frankly. So I'm just going to keep growing things, and the game will tell me eventually if I care to look. But the cauldron is closed, and I can't find out right now. Olives, sure. And one sleepy Hypnos? Sleepy Hypnos.
You all tonight.
And now my brain, I don't care what you say, I ought to be down in Elysium, not here. Dying wish fame. I like to think that Hypnos, when he's awake, has like a little bendy straw sippy cup sort of thing that he drinks. I don't know. What would Hypnos drink? I mean, the obvious answer is probably pomegranate juice just because of the nature of this game's humor. But I thought mango juice, or maybe, no, apple juice. He's definitely a warm apple juice sort of guy.
Salutations.
Hey,
Salutations, man who is being mauled by a cat.
all of those nocturnal arms of yours got their own different moves. Do not dwell upon which one of them is strongest. Rather, choose whichever one really speaks to you.
And what if they all speak to me? Faintly, but still.
Mel, use us to kill your enemies. Kill your enemies.
You pick the one that gives you extra bones.
He gets it. He knows. All right, extra bones it is.
Bones with this.
All right, what can we rank up? Aspect of Artemis, aspect of Pan. I mean, we had such a fun aspect of Artemis run last time. I'm gonna go again. Let's do it. Aspect of Artemis it is, one rank up on the Arty. Now our Omega attack speed is 30% faster. Okay. I guess that means that we can riposte or get the shield up faster. Let's see. Let's take 2 levels of these, all that. There we go. Okay, Prometheus, so we're doing an overworld again. Yuck. I don't like overworld is so much harder. It's going to be hard to focus and give commentary when I'm running a melee build like this, but it is what it is. We'll manage. Maybe I should take Pan then. Nah, we're committed. We're committed. Who do I want to take
this night calls
for this run? Well, I can figure that off camera. Kiwi, figure that out off camera. Kiwi, with all that said, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. I'm going to keep talking about the Whispering Door under the Whispering Door for a bit longer, so look forward to that. Well, next episode, we'll talk about Hugo, we'll talk about Nelson. With all that said, I love you, and I will see you in the next one for some more Hades 2.
You may